women, when you look around and see what's going on in the world, we need more women in leadership positions everywhere. And I strongly believe that in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, it's the fastest route to really transforming this leadership vacuum that we have.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it goes to the heart of the matter, which is if you're informed, you can make better decisions, and all of that kind of unconscious struggle stuff of anxiety and worry gets to be kind of put aside, because now you're really informed and know what's going on and have something that is not really just about you, but just about what's out there that you can do independent of who you are. Take this step, do this with this person, which makes mentoring, especially the way that you're looking at doing it, really helpful, I think, for women entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think that, the thing that is missing in a lot of the entrepreneurial ecosystems for women is this notion of a collective force. And I really am very passionate about the collective intelligence that you get when you put a large number of female founders in a room or on a platform to really talk not just about their experiences, but to really begin to advise one another, because no one really knows better than those that have really kind of walked through the fire. And it's a huge missed opportunity that really exists in a lot of female founder groups today, because a lot of women are competing with one another for capital. Within those groups, they're doing demo days, pitch nights, they're schmoozing, even accelerators and incubators. They're all competing with one another for money. So therefore, there is not a lot of sharing. There's a lot of competition, and that will not happen on our platform, because I think there are much bigger riches to be had by collectively joining forces to help one another build our companies. And get to the finish line, and looking down the road once these companies are built, creating that network and mentorship of CEO founders who help one another with staffing, with growth, with strategy, with partnership alliances. That's what you want. That's what's going to make a big difference.
And that's kind of the strength, I guess, what we're also talking about in terms of women, is that if you take away the competitiveness, then there is this really collaborative circle that allows you to really be lifted up and encouraged by women who've had experiences that may be something useful for you. Whereas perhaps in a setting with men, maybe it'd be more difficult to feel that. But with women, it's, the competition. If you're able to take it out, then it's much more collaborative.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that the other big issue that exists with women is this sense of, kind of lack. And that is that when women finally reach a level of success as an entrepreneur, even as an executive, some women are incredibly generous and other women aren't. And we are not collectively going to get anywhere unless we all unify together under one mission to really put women in positions of power so that we can lead, so that we attain the wealth that is required in order to really transform our cities, our towns, our countries, and this planet. And if you've reached the top, if you're running a female VC, let's say, and you don't want to work with other women who have other female VCs and maybe going out and raising capital together as one force, and you don't include other women's groups as one force, then we're really missing out on an opportunity to really make big transformative changes where, it's just a drop in the bucket here, a drop in the bucket here. One woman's getting some level of success, another woman isn't. I mean, we're not getting anywhere. It's now 2020, and we haven't made the level of, there hasn't been a level of change that we really had hoped by now. And it really starts with us. We are that change.
And do you feel like that's what's starting to happen, is that there's more movement on that women are sort of looking to sort of get together, much like what you're doing, and be less concerned about the competitiveness and more concerned about the group effort and the group power going forward?
I think there's a greater awareness that women have not done what men do all day long. Men get together who are competitors and create alliances because it's in their best interest to do so. Even people who have been enemies form alliances, business alliances, because 2 + 2 is 10. And women haven't done that. And I think that women need to really look at how men strategically have grown and scaled their businesses by doing things that have been outside the box, because they understand that there's going to be a greater positive benefit to their own self-interest by doing so.
And if we had to put these unconscious struggles in there, do you think part of that's because women carry some unconscious struggles that we've been talking about today that make things more difficult for them to be open and upfront about what's going on, and
Yeah,
that's holding
ab-
back?
yeah, absolutely. Because I think women feel like if I got $100 million, I better hang on to it because I don't know if I'll get 200 million next year. If
Mm-hmm.
I just got this deal, I better hang on tight. Whereas I think men come from a place of there's always more.
Mm-hmm.
There's always more. Prosperity is around the corner. It flows to me, whereas I think women don't. They are hanging on for fear that
Mm-hmm.
there won't be more. And I think that is something that is a huge unconscious struggle. That is one of the things that holds back women.
Mm-hmm. 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 I wanted to just sort of end up here with I understand you're developing a video series for women entrepreneurs global to air in the near future. Can you tell us a little bit about what that show is about and what we can learn, where we can learn
Sure.
more?
Sure. So Women Entrepreneurs Global, known as We Global for short, is both a startup innovation studio where we literally build businesses and partner with women in building their businesses, and also a hybrid digital do-it-yourself platform. And as part of our platform offerings to our female founder members, we will be developing all kinds of content, podcasts, video series, and editorial content, as well as providing very specific resources that help women build their businesses around the world. And as part of those video series, we will be offering kind of soup to nuts business content that allows women to watch at their leisure and really learn what they need to know to build a business, from very early days to kind of later stage operational business content. And in addition to that, we're also creating what we call um, mindset content around leadership and personal development, because in order to be a successful founder, it's very much a head game as well, just like in sports. That's why sports psychology exists. So we really want to help women to become the best leaders that they possibly can be. So we'll be developing a lot of content around that. We are launching that content in November. We will be starting with a series in October, which will feature all the thought leaders behind We Global. And you can go to our website, which is womenentrepreneurs.global, for more information and register to become a member and learn more.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Fernanda, for openly sharing today with us and our listeners some of your inspirational psychological journeys, which you've taken to become the successful female founder that you are. I also wanted to say that those of us at We Global are committed to powering the success of female founders. And for more information, as you said, our guests can visit Women Entrepreneurs Global for the first startup studio for women. And remember, part of helping our young founders move ahead is for us to facilitate an open and non-stigmatizing dialogue about common unconscious struggles, such as the fear of failure or of not being good enough and that loud, chattering internal critic. So please tune in next week for more Mindset for Success. I'm Dr. Leslie Knutson, and you can drop me a line at Dr. Leslie Knutson at drleslieknutson.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much.